The Art of Persuasion: How to Convince Your Client in Ingenious Psychological Ways. Book Summary. The Psychology of Perception by author Kevin Hogan focuses on how psychology techniques can be used to influence and convince people in subtle and effective ways. The book draws on the concepts of social psychology and the study of human behavior to understand how people are guided to make decisions that are in the interests of the negotiator or the seller. The first impression is everything. One of the main ideas of the book is that the first impression can determine the success or failure of the persuasion process. Hogan emphasizes that people make their decisions about others within a few seconds of the first meeting. If their impressions are positive, it will be easier to influence them. When you enter a meeting room for the first time, the outfit you wear, the smile, and your body language make a strong impression. People respond to you based on those first impressions before you even start talking. The principle of reciprocity: how human beings feel obliged to return the favor when they get something. This principle can be exploited to make others feel indebted to you, making it easier to convince them later. If you give a person something for free, such as a sample of your product, he will be more willing to buy the product afterwards because he feels that he owes you. A little rarity enhances the desire. When people feel that something is rare or limited, it increases their desire to have it. Hogan explains how this principle can be used in marketing and persuasion effectively. When a company announces a special offer for a product available for a limited time, customers feel pressured to buy immediately before time runs out, as Apple does when it launches a limited version of its new device. The influence of power. People naturally trust people who have authority or experience. Hogan demonstrates how this dynamic can be exploited to easily impress others. The more confident and experienced you seem in your field, the easier the persuasion process will be. If you are a doctor or an expert in your field and recommend a particular product or service, people tend to trust you and follow your recommendations without hesitation. Emotional stimulation is stronger than logic. Human beings make decisions based more on their feelings than on logic. The use of emotions in persuasion can be very powerful, as a sense of security, love, or fear can motivate a person to make a decision without deep thought. Talking to customers about a product that concerns their health or safety, you can use the fear of illness or injury to motivate him to buy quickly. Master the art of active listening. The writer explains that the art of persuasion is not just a continuous conversation, but is based on good listening and understanding the needs of the other party. The more you show sincere interest in people's problems, the more they are willing to open up and accept what you offer them. If you are a sales representative and listen carefully to what the client is looking for, you can adjust your offer to suit his needs, which increases the chance of persuading him to buy. Master the art of active listening. The writer explains that the art of persuasion is not just a continuous conversation, but is based on good listening and understanding the needs of the other party. The more you show sincere interest in people's problems, the more they are willing to open up and accept what you offer them. If you are a sales representative and listen carefully to what the client is looking for, you can adjust your offer to suit his needs, which increases the chance of persuading him to buy. Continuity makes the difference. The author points out that people tend to stick to their previous decisions, and that you can exploit this dynamic to achieve your goals. When people agree to something small, they are more willing to agree to larger requests later, due to their desire to maintain the consistent image in front of others. If you can convince a person to do a small action, such as registering his email for an offer, he will probably take bigger steps later, such as buying a product or subscribing to a paid service. Social influence and general orientation. People tend to follow group behavior. The author explains how you can use this principle to convince others that what you are offering is the right choice, especially when they feel that others are doing the same. If you are promoting a new product, you can indicate the number of people who have already purchased it or the positive feedback you have received to increase people's sense that they should follow the audience. A combination of patience and perseverance. Where not everyone can be immediately convinced, the writer emphasizes the importance of patience and perseverance. Even if a person is not convinced from the first attempt, continuing to try with craftsmanship can pay off in the end. If you send follow-up messages to customers who didn't buy at first, you can eventually convince them when they are ready or when their circumstances change. Tone of voice and body language. The book shows how the way you speak is as important as the words themselves. The tone, rhythm, and use of body language can greatly affect how others receive your message. If you are making an offer for sale, your confident voice and relaxed body language will increase the likelihood that people will be convinced of your offer compared to words alone.